The steam clung to my skin like a secret I couldn't shake. The hot water pounding against my back just moments ago now reduced to a drip that echoed my racing heart. I stared at my reflection in the fogged mirror, towel slung low around my hips, whispering to myself that tonight would be the night I'd finally say it out loud. To the world. To him. But then the door creaked open, and there stood Alex, his eyes locking onto mine with a force that shattered the glass between us, pulling me into a truth I'd buried deeper than my own breath. In that suspended heartbeat, the world narrowed to the space between us, his damp hair from the rain outside, the way his college hoodie clung to his shoulders, and the unspoken question hanging in the humid air like a storm about to break. I froze, words dying on my lips, as his gaze traveled down not in judgment, but in a hunger that mirrored my own hidden ache. "Everett," he breathed, voice rough with something raw and real, stepping inside and letting the door click shut behind him, sealing us in a moment that would unravel everything I thought I knew about fear, love, and the fragile line between roommate and soul. That night in our cramped off-campus apartment in Seattle, with the relentless Pacific drizzle tapping against the window like impatient fingers, I realized hiding wasn't survival, it was suffocation. Alex didn't turn away. He crossed the tiled floor in 2 strides, his hand brushing my arm, sending a jolt through me that tasted like freedom and terror intertwined. "I've seen you looking," he said, his voice low, eyes never leaving mine. "And God, Everett, I've been waiting for you to see me back." My throat tightened, the confession I'd rehearsed 1,000 times in the shower now spilling out in a whisper. "I'm gay, Alex, and it's killing me." He didn't flinch. Instead, he pulled me closer, our breaths mingling, and in that bathroom's unforgiving light, our lips met tentative at first, then fierce, like 2 lives colliding after years of orbiting in silence. The kiss tasted of rain and regret, his hands framing my face as if I were something precious he'd feared losing. We stumbled back against the sink, the cool porcelain grounding us as the world outside faded to irrelevance. Seattle's gray skies had always mirrored my inner storms. But in Alex's arms, the clouds parted just enough to let in a sliver of light. He was everything I wasn't, bold where I hesitated, outgoing where I retreated into books and late-night sketches. We'd been roommates for 6 months, thrown together by a Craigslist ad and a shared desperation for cheap rent near the University of Washington. Little did I know, those months had been a slow burn, glances lingering too long over morning coffee, accidental brushes in the hallway that left me breathless and questioning. As our bodies pressed together, the towel slipped forgotten to the floor, and for the first time, I felt seen not as the quiet art major with the absent parents back in Portland, but as Everett, whole and wanting. His fingers traced the lines of my ribs, mapping territories I'd only explored alone, and I gasped into his mouth, the sound swallowed by his deepening kiss. "This isn't a mistake," he murmured against my neck, his breath hot and reassuring. But even as desire flooded me, doubt crept in like fog off the sound. What if this ruined us? What if the campus whispers turned to shouts? Or worse, what if my family, with their Bible-thumping Sundays, ever found out? We didn't make it to the bedroom that night. The bathroom floor, scattered with discarded clothes, became our confessional, bodies entwining in a rhythm that spoke louder than words. Alex's touch was reverent, exploring with a gentleness that belied his athlete's build, his lacrosse-calloused hands soft on my skin. I arched into him, surrendering to the pull that had simmered since the day he moved in, lugging boxes of vinyl records and that crooked grin that lit up our dim living room. Afterward, we lay tangled under the running faucet's forgotten spray, his head on my chest, listening to the steady thump that betrayed my lingering fear. "We're in this now," he said, fingers interlacing with mine. No going back. I wanted to believe him. But the haunt had already begun the echo of that door closing. A portal to a love that could either save me or destroy us both. Morning light filtered through the frosted window, painting our skin in soft grays. And for a fleeting hour, it felt like paradise. Alex stirred first, pressing a kiss to my collarbone before slipping out to brew coffee, his bare feet padding across the cold floor. I watched him go, heart swelling with a tenderness I'd never known. But as the door swung shut behind him, reality crashed in. My phone buzzed on the counter, a text from my sister, Lila, reminding me of the family dinner in 2 weeks. Mom's asking about you. Don't forget to mention that girl from your art class. The lie I'd spun months ago twisted like a knife. How could I face them now, carrying this secret flame? I joined Alex in the kitchen, our ritual unchanged on the surface, him in boxers, flipping pancakes with exaggerated flair, me sketching idly at the table. But everything had shifted. His glances held heat. His laughs pulled me in deeper. Last night, he started. Sliding a plate my way wasn't just a one-off. Right. His vulnerability cracked me open. No, I replied, reaching for his hand across the formica. It's everything. We ate in comfortable silence, the kind that speaks volumes, until his phone rang. His ex, Jordan, the golden boy from high school who'd shattered him last year with a casual, "I'm not ready for labels." Alex's face tightened, but he silenced it, turning back to me with a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. That was the first shadow, a reminder that love in our world came with thorns. Classes that day blurred into a haze of stolen thoughts. In my figure drawing studio, the model's pose evoked Alex's form, my charcoal strokes feverish and revealing. Whispers from classmates, rumors of campus protests for queer rights stirred unease. Seattle prided itself on progress, with rainbow flags fluttering from Capitol Hill cafes. But the university's old guard still clung to outdated policies, and not everyone waved welcome. I texted Alex during lunch, "Miss you already." His reply, "Ditto. Meet at the quad after." The anticipation buzzed like caffeine, pulling me through lectures on Renaissance desire that now felt prophetic. The quad was alive with autumn leaves crunching underfoot, students huddled against the chill. Alex waited on our usual bench, sketchpad in lap, a surprise portrait of me, captured in quick lines that stripped me bare. "For your collection," he said, blushing as I traced the paper's edge. We walked to the pier that afternoon, hands brushing until I dared to link our fingers. The risk exhilarating in the open air. Puget Sound stretched endless before us, ferries cutting through waves like ships fleeing storms. "Tell me about your first crush," he prompted, leaning into my shoulder. I hesitated, then spilled, "A boy in high school woodshop." The scent of sawdust and stolen glances. His story followed summer camp. A lifeguard with sun-kissed skin and a laugh like thunder. Sharing wove us tighter. Threads of past pains mending into something stronger. But as dusk fell, casting long shadows over the water, a group of frat guys passed, their jeers slicing the air, fags holding hands. "Get a room." Alex's grip tightened, his jaw set, but he didn't let go. We hurried back, the incident a bruise on our budding joy. That night, over takeout ramen in our living room, he opened up about Jordan's betrayal, the coming out, the promise, the ghosting when things got real. "I swore off love after that," he admitted, eyes distant. "Then you happened." I pulled him close, our bodies fitting like puzzle pieces, making slow, deliberate love on the couch, each touch a vow against the world's cruelty. Yet sleep brought dreams, the bathroom door slamming, Alex walking away, leaving me alone in the steam. Weeks blurred into a rhythm of stolen moments, lazy Sundays tangled in sheets. Midnight runs along the Burke-Gilman Trail where we'd race and collapse laughing. His hand always finding mine. Art class thrived. My pieces grew bolder, infused with the colors of youth's vibrant reds for passion, deep blues for the fears we whispered in the dark. Alex's lacrosse games became my ritual, cheering from the bleachers, our eyes meeting across the field like beacons. Friends noticed the shift. My roommate Sarah from dorm days texted, "Who's got you smiling like that?" I dodged, not ready for the full reveal. But Alex was fearless, introducing me as the guy who steals my heart at team parties. His arm slung casual around my waist. Yet the haunt lingered, manifesting in small cracks. My parents called, their voices warm but probing, Dad's tales of fly fishing, Mom's gentle nudges towards settling down. Lila's visits brought Portland's conservative chill, her sideways glances at Alex's easy affection making my stomach knot. "He's just a friend, right?" she'd ask, and I'd nod, the lie tasting bitter. One evening, after she left, Alex found me on the fire escape, staring at the city lights. "We can't hide forever," he said, joining me with 2 beers. "I know," I replied, leaning into him. "But what if they hate me?" His kiss was answer enough fierce, affirming, but the question echoed. A specter in our paradise. Thanksgiving loomed like a guillotine. Alex's family in Tacoma was a beacon of acceptance's mom, a lesbian who'd fought for marriage equality, planned a feast with extra love for my boys. Mine, a minefield of tradition and unspoken rules. I invited him anyway, heart pounding as I dialed home. "Bring your roommate," Mom said brightly, oblivious. The drive south was tense, evergreen forests blurring past as we held hands over the console. Arrival brought hugs and pie, but under the table, Alex's foot nudged Minea lifeline. Dinner conversation skirted edges, politics, weather, until Dad boomed. "So, Everett, any girls on the horizon?" Silence fell like snow. Alex squeezed my knee, and in that moment, I cracked. "Actually, Dad, Alex isn't just my roommate. He's my boyfriend." The room froze, forks hovering, Mom's eyes widening in confusion, Lila's in quiet support. Dad's face reddened, words tumbling. "This is a phase. Son, we raised you better." Alex stood, voice steady, with respect. "Sir, Everett's the best thing that's happened to me. If you can't see that, you're missing out." Chaos erupted, shouts, tears, Mom pulling me aside with pleas for normalcy. We fled to the guest room, doors slamming, my sobs muffled in Alex's chest. "I'm sorry," I gasped. "Don't be," he whispered, holding me through the night. "We're stronger than this." Dawn brought fragile truce, coffee, and apologies. Mom's tentative hug. Dad's gruff, "We'll talk more." It wasn't acceptance, but a crack in the wall. Enough light to breathe. Driving back to Seattle, hand in his, I felt the weight lift slightly. But the real storm brewed on campus. Whispers turned to confrontation. A teammate cornered Alex after practice. Slurs flying. Fists clenched. Choose, the team or him. Alex chose me, quitting lacrosse that week, his fire undimmed. "Worth it," he said, kissing my knuckles raw. Winter deepened, snow dusting the city like forgotten promises. Our love grew roots, holiday lights strung in our apartment, shared sketches of future travels, dreams of a life beyond dorms. But the haunt intensified. Anonymous notes slipped under our door. "Fags go home." Campus security brushing off complaints. One night, it escalated, a brick through the window, glass shattering our fragile peace. Police came, forms filled, but no arrests. Huddled in the cold, Alex's rage mirrored mine, We fight back. We join the Queer Alliance. Voices rising at rallies. My art turning activist murals of intertwined hands defying shadows. Spring thawed the ice, but not the fears. Lila visited, bearing Mom's letter. We love you. Always. Come home when ready. Tears flowed as I read. Alex's arms my anchor. Graduation neared. Caps and gowns a milestone laced with uncertainty jobs. Cities. The pull of worlds apart. Yet in quiet moments. Like stargazing on our roof. His head on my lap. I saw eternity. Haunts my dreams. I confessed one night. Tracing his jaw. The good kind now. He replied. Pulling me down. Our bodies moved as one. A symphony of sighs and whispers. Reaffirming what words couldn't. The climax came unbidden, Jordan's return. Slick and remorseful. Cornering Alex at a bar. I made a mistake. He pleaded. Eyes on me like a threat. Jealousy clawed. But trust held. Alex walked away. Straight to me. Our kiss a public declaration. Jordan's shadow faded. But it unearthed my deepest haunt, abandonment. In therapy, urged by campus counseling, I unpacked the absent dad of my childhood. The fear love was fleeting. Alex joined sessions. His hand in mine. Our vulnerabilities bared and bound. Summer bloomed in pride's colors. Parades through downtown, a catharsis of flags and cheers. We marched hand in hand. The crowds roared, drowning old ghosts. That night, under rainbow lights, Alex dropped to one knee, not a ring, but a key to our future place. Move with me. Tears blurred my yes. Our embrace lost in the throng. Fall brought new beginnings, a shared loft in Capitol Hill. Jobs in design and coaching. Lives intertwined. Years later, the bathroom door's creak still echoes in dreams. But now it's a lullaby, not a nightmare. We've built a home, adopted a rescue dog. Walls lined with our art. Dinners with Lila and Alex's mom, trading stories of battles won. Dad calls weekly, voice softening with time. A visit planned for Christmas. The haunt. It's transformed into gratitude. A reminder that love, once glimpsed in steam and surprise, endures against all odds. In Alex's eyes, I see forever not haunted, but holy. The loft's first rain pattered like applause. Our boxes half unpacked amid takeout containers and laughter that echoed off exposed brick walls. Alex spun me in a mock waltz across the creaky floors. His grin infectious, chasing away the ache of leaving our old apartment's ghosts behind. To us, he toasted with cheap wine, clinking glasses that sloshed red onto the ruga stain we'd joke about for years. But as night deepened, tangled in fresh sheets that smelled of possibility, doubt whispered, was this real? Or just another dream I'd wake from alone? Morning brought routines, comfort coffee brewing as I sketched at the kitchen island. Alex scrolling job listings for youth coaching gigs. His passion for mentoring kids undimmed by past losses. Capitol Hill pulsed with life outside our window, coffee shops buzzing with queer couples. Murals of defiance splashed across alleys. It felt like home. This vibrant heart of Seattle where identities bloomed unapologetically. Yet integration wasn't seamless. My freelance graphic design took off. Clients loving the emotional depth in my work. But Alex struggled, rejections piling up. His confidence fraying like old laces. One evening, he slammed the laptop shut. Frustration etching lines on his face. They see the queer coach and balk. He muttered, pacing. I pulled him down, hands on his shoulders. You're more than that. Show them. We brainstormed late into the night. His resume glowing with stories of resilience, captaining teams through losses, advocating for inclusive sports. A breakthrough came, an interview at a community center, focused on LGBTQ plus youth programs. He nailed it. Emerging buoyant. scooping me up in a victory spin that ended in breathless kisses against the fridge. Success fueled us, but shadows lingered. My parents' visit loomed, a test of fragile bridges. Mom booked flights, Dad reluctant but present. Their Portland suburb a world away from our urban haven. Preparations turned tense. Alex rehearsed small talk. I fretted over menus vegan for Mom's new phase. Steak for Dad's comfort. The airport reunion was awkward hugs and stilted chatter. But Lila's arrival smoothed edges, her arm linking mine with sisterly solidarity. Dinner at our place unfolded like a tightrope walk, candlelight softening judgments. Stories exchanged over pasta. Dad eyed Alex's coaching tales warily, but warmed when tales turned to team triumphs. Sounds like you build character. He grunted, a nod that felt like absolution. Mom teared up over my latest Murala portrait of us, hands clasped against stormy skies whispering, "He's good for you, Everett." As they left, Dad clapped Alex's shoulder. "Take care of my boy." The door closed on tentative peace, leaving us drained but hopeful. Autumn leaves turned the streets to fire, mirroring the spark reignited in us. Alex's program launched, a safe space for queer teens navigating identities amid schoolyard taunts. He came home glowing, recounting a kid's first "I'm bi" confession, the room erupting in cheers. Inspired, I volunteered, my art workshops drawing shy faces that opened like flowers under gentle prompts. One boy, Jamie, reminded me of younger Meskich's hiding crushes, eyes darting for approval. "It's okay to be seen," I told him, echoing Alex's words. And in his grateful hug, I healed a piece of my past. But joy's underbelly stirred. Jordan resurfaced via social media, posts of his new life in San Francisco polished. Performative, a dig at our authenticity. Alex blocked him, but the sting lingered, unearthed in quiet arguments. What if he was right? What if we're too much? I'd counter with touches, reminders of our foundation, making love that reaffirmed slow, deep, bodies conversing in languages of trust. Holiday lights twinkled as winter gripped the city. Our first Christmas in the loft, a tapestry of traditions blended, Alex's mom's lax alongside my family's gingerbread. Video calls bridging miles. Dad sent a card, "Proud of you both," words that thawed the last ice. New Year's Eve. We climbed to the roof, champagne bubbling as fireworks burst over the sound. Tahans turned home. Alex toasted, his kiss tasting of champagne and forever. Spring brought expansion, a gallery show for my work. Pieces chronicling our journey, the bathroom's steam stylized into veils of revelation. Alex's form abstracted in loving strokes. Opening night buzzed, collectors murmuring approval. But the real prize was Alex's proud gaze from the crowd. Afterward, in a quiet corner, he slipped a velvet box into my hand, simple silver bands, engraved with echo. "Not marriage yet," he said, voice thick, "but promise." Tears pricked as we exchanged them, fingers trembling. The way to bomb. Yet life tested, a funding cut threatened Alex's program. Parents of troubled kids protesting its existence. Petitions flew. Rallies organized. Our community rallying like a tide. I designed posters bold, unyielding while Alex testified, voice cracking with passion. Victory came narrow. Grants secured. But exhaustion followed, pulling us into ruts of takeout and silence. Renewal sparked in a weekend getaway to the Olympics. Hiking trails where evergreens whispered secrets. By an alpine lake, we stripped to swim, water shocking cold then cradling warm. Floating side by side, stars emerging. I confessed deeper fears. What if we drift? He turned, water lapping, eyes fierce, then we swim harder. That night in the tent, our love was primal, urgent, sealing vows against the wild. Back in Seattle. Momentum built. Alex's promotion. My book deal for illustrated memoirs of queer awakening. Lila announced her engagement to a woman. Her coming out a gift mirroring mine. Family dinner swelled with toasts. Dad's speech halting but heartfelt. Love's what matters. The table erupted. Embraces healing old wounds. Summer pride amplified at all floats, thumping bass. Our bands glinting in sun. A float of our own, youth from the center. Banners of hope. As confetti rained. Alex pulled me close. This is ashauntingly beautiful. Dreams shifted then. The bathroom, a origin story. Not specter. Years wove onward. Threads of challenge and triumph. A move to Portland for my parents' sake. Closer ties mending. Alex's book on coaching resilience. My gallery's expanding. We adopted Milo. The mutt who tripped over his paws. Filling silences with joy. One anniversary. Revisiting our old apartment now, strangers home we stood in the bathroom. Door creaking under my hand. Still haunts. I said, pulling him in. He smiled. Kissing the scar of memory. And always will or best ghost. Life in Portland unfolded like a sketch half-drawn. Familiar streets now layered with new colors our colors. The house we bought. A fixer-upper craftsman with creaky porch and wild garden. Became canvas for dreams. Alex painting fences blue. Me hanging canvases of our journey. Mornings started with coffee on the swing. His head on my shoulder. Milo snores a chorus to birdsong. Feels right. He'd murmur. And it did. This bridge between past and present. Dad's hardware store was blocks away. He'd drop by with tools and gruff advice. Evolving into fishing trips where casts and casts loosened tongues. Never thought I'd say it. He admitted one dawn by the Willamette. Line taught. But you chose well. Mom hosted book clubs. Her circle expanding to include queer authors. Her hugs lingering longer. Lila's wedding. A sun-dappled garden affair with vows echoing ours unspoken. Sealed family rebirth her wife. Sam. A quiet force fitting seamlessly. Work flourished. Alex's program franchised. Chapters in Seattle and beyond. Testimonials pouring of lives redirected. I'd visit. Sketching sessions alive with laughter and tears. Jamie now a mentor himself. His art beside mine in shows. My book launched to acclaim. Pages turning on bathroom confessions. Readers emailing stories that mirrored ours haunts turned beacons. But ease bred complacency. Routines dulled edges. A work trip to New York pulled Alex away for weeks. Video calls strained by time zones. My bed cold without him. Doubts crept, memories of Jordan's charm. My own youthful flings before clarity. Solo nights. I'd wander the garden. Stars indifferent. Wondering if love's fire dimmed with time. He returned bearing regrets and roses. Airport reunion, a crush of limbs, and I missed US. Over dinner. Confessions spilled, temptations glimpsed but rejected. Reaffirming choice. You're my echo, he said, hand over heart. That night, we reclaimed each other fierce. Forgiving. Bodies mapping familiar paths with renewed wonder. Autumn brought a curve, fertility talks. Whispers of family beyond Milo. Surrogacy seminars. Adoption fairs options swirled. Fears surfacing. What if we're not enough? I voiced in therapy. Our joint session's a ritual now. Alex's eyes softened. We are for whoever comes. A match found. Twins. A boy and girl. Their mother's story of strength resonating. Pregnancy's arc tested use ultrasounds blurring tears. Cravings at 3 a.m. My sketches chronicling bumps and kicks. Labor's chaos bonded deeper. Hospital waits. Alex's hand crushing mine through updates. Then cries piercing the night. Holding Riley and Jordan names chosen with care. No ghosts attached world tilted to infinity. Homecoming blurred days into nights of feeds and folds. Exhaustion laced with ecstasy. Dad cradled Riley, while cracking his voice, grandkids never imagined. Mom knitted booties. Lila anti-ng with glee. Parenting reshaped us, playdates in parks where other dads eyed curiously. But allies emerged, queer families forming pods of support. Alex coached t-ball. Tiny cleats stumbling. His patience a gift. I'd read bedtime stories. Voices pitching characters. Their giggles haunting sweetly. Challenges arose, school enrollment debates. Pronouns practiced early. But love armored us. A scare jolted Riley's fever spiking. ER lights harsh. Huddled in vinyl chairs. Alex's prayer whispered, not them. Not now. Crisis passed. But it etched fragility, pulling us closer. Anniversaries marked with quiet toasts. Bands worn thin but true. Decade turned. Twins toddling to teens, Riley's sketches rivaling mine. Jordan's lacrosse swings echoing Alex's. Empty nest loomed distant. But trips filled voids. Europe rambles. Hands linked in foreign streets. Haunts revisited in Parisian cafes. One night. Porch swing creaking. Milo gray muzzled at our feet. Alex turned. Still dream of that door. I smiled. Tracing his ring. Every night our beginning. Kiss deepened. Timeless. The boy in the bathroom forever young in memory's steam. Adolescence crashed like waves on our once calm shores. Twins testing boundaries with the ferocity of storms we'd weathered. Riley, at 14, came home with a sketchbook of fierce self-portraits, gender-fluid explorations in charcoal. Eyes defiant. This is me. Dad, he said, voice cracking, handing it over. Alex and I exchanged glances, hearts swelling with pride and paying our boy, echoing my own awakening. We hugged him fierce, words tumbling, always you. Exactly. Jordan, meanwhile, navigated crushes with lacrosse bravado, masking vulnerability. His first boyfriend, a shy goalie whose hand he held tentatively at games. Family dinners turned forums, discussions on consent over spaghetti. Allyship over ice cream. Dad, now retired, joined via Zoom. His back in my day, evolving to how can I help? Mom's church group shifted. Rainbow pins on lapels. Her sermons on love's spectrum drawing tears. Lila and Sam fostered. Their home a haven for runaways. Our circle widening like ripples. Professionally, peaks and valleys, my gallery in Portland thrived. But a plagiarism scandal, a rival copying my style dragged courts and headlines. Alex testified. Voice steady, his works soul deep. Fakes lack heart. Vindication came. But scars lingered. Trust bruised. He pulled me through. Coaching sessions, his therapy, build back bolder. A sabbatical Beck-and-Ed cross-country road trip. Twins buckled in back. Milo shotgun. Route 66 unspooled stories. Grand Canyon's vastness mirroring inner chasms. Vegas lights dazzling doubts away. In a Mojave motel, Alex and I slipped out for starlit walks. Hands linked. Whispering futures. Kids grown. Just us again. He mused. Better than before. I replied. Kiss sealing it. Back home. Community called. A local election. Anti-LGBTQ plus bills looming. We canvassed streets. Doors knocked with pleas for equality. Riley designed flyers. Jordan rallied youth, our family a unit. Voices amplified. Victory at polls felt seismic. Hugs in rain-slicked streets washing old wounds. Personal tides turned. Alex's knee. Worn from fields. Needed surgery. Hospital gowns and rehab blurred weeks. My sketches bedside companions. Your turn to carry. He joked through pain. But gratitude shone. Recovery walks. Cane tapping. Rebuilt Oslo dances in kitchen. Laughter at stumbles. Twins milestones mark time. Riley's art school acceptance. Gender-affirming steps with our full-throated yes. Jordan's championship goal. Boyfriend cheering sidelines. Pride beaming. High school graduation. Caps airborne. Our speech is choked. Chase haunts that heal. Empty nest echoed first summer house, too quiet. Milo's passing a gut punch. Grave under apple tree. Grief shared in tears and toasts. Then travel, Italy's hills. Hands in his. Pasta-fueled nights reaffirming fire. Return brought reinvention, Alex mentoring online. Global reach. My memoir sequel. Delving deeper into love's evolutions. A documentary, Offer Our Story. Bathroom to now filmed in our home. Lights and lenses capturing truths. Premiere night. Family arrayed. Screen flickering that fateful door. Laughter. Gasps. Applause thundering. Alex's hand in mine. Haunts the world now. Post-screening. Q&A raw. How'd you survive? Love. I said. Relentless. Haunting love. Years layered like patina. Silver in hair. Lines of laughter. Grandkids arrived Riley's via surrogacy. Jordan's adoptita, new generation toddling. Our roles reversed. Guiding with grace learned hard. One anniversary. Revisiting Seattle's old apartment. Ghost friendly now. Bathroom unchanged. Door creaking welcome. Full circle. Alex whispered. Pulling me close. Dreams. Still visit. But wake to him eternal echo. Beautifully haunted. Grandparenthood sprinkled our days with chaos and wonder. Tiny hands tugging at easels. Laughter drowning quiet regrets. Nora. Riley's daughter. Smeared paints with abandon. Her giggles a balm. Theo. Jordan's son. Kicked balls across lawns. Alex's cheers echoing youth. Family swell barbecues sprawling. Dad manning grill with stories softened by time. Mom reading tales of brave princes and knights. Yet age whispered changes, joints creaking on morning walks. Mirrors reflecting lines earned. Alex's heart stuttered once. EKG beeps away cup meds and monitors. But resolve steeled, more years with you. I wrote through fear. Poems of fragile beats. Published in quiet volumes that touched strangers' souls. Community evolved, Portland's scene vibrant. But national winds shifted rights rolled back in states afar. News a daily dread. We marched still. Signs weathered but held high. Mentoring activists with tales of bathrooms and bricks. Riley's gallery. Jordan's coaching nonprofit legacies branching. Our roots deep. A loss gutted, Dad's passing. Quiet in sleep. Fishing rod by bed. Funeral swelled with unlikely friends' old teammates. Church folk turned allies. His letter. Red graveside, Everett. Love like yours. It's the real deal. Tell Alex thanks. Tears mingled with rain. Alex's arm anchor. Healing came in projects, a foundation in Dad's name. Scholarships for queer artists and athletes. Launches bustled. Toasts to absent presences. Lila's health scare follow ed cancer's shadow but remission rallied us. Hospital vigils turning to victory dances. Travel tempered grief, Japan's cherry blossoms. Petals falling like blessings. Hands linked in Zen gardens. Life's haiku. Alex quipped. Short and sweet. Nights in ryokans. Bodies familiar, yet cherished anew. Touches reverent. Home. Creativity surged, collaborative book. Our voices intertwined essays on love's long arc. Illustrations breathing life. Launch tour crisscrossed coasts. Readings intimate. Audiences leaning in. One night. Post-talk. A young man approached. Your story. It gave me courage to come out. Hug exchanged. Echoes rippling. Health's tide turned again, my vision blurred. Macular whispers from family genes. Glasses. Then specialist's adaptations grating. But Alex's patience infinite. describing sunsets. Guiding brushes. See with heart. He'd say. Our love's lens sharpening all. Twins parented parallels. Riley navigating co-parenting post-breakup. Art is solace. Jordan balancing career and family. Boyfriend now husband. Rings glinting. Our advice. Haunt the good memories. Holidays hubbub tables groaning. Grandkids chaos. Toast to endurance. A milestone, 50th from that door. Surprise party loft side in Seattle. Friends from eras mingled. Twins toasting origins. Nora reciting poem of To Dad's Door. Cake cut. Band's renewed simple ceremony. Vows whispered, still you. Always. Reflections deepened. Podcast invites. Sharing raw fears. Fights. Fidelities. Listeners messaged. Haunts me too in the best way. Book club with grandkids. Stories sanitized, but spirit intact. Winter's Eve. Fire crackling. Alex beside. Dreamt of the bathroom last night. I smiled. Me tuss. Young. Terrified. Triumphant. Kiss lingered. Embers glowing. Haunt. A hearth now. Warming eternities. Twilight years draped us in gold-threaded quiet. Routines, rituals of grace, morning yoga, easing aches. Evenings with books and wine. Milo's successors curling at feet. Nora's piano recitals. Theo's soccer triumphs, milestones savored. Cameras clicking memories. Riley's exhibit in New York. Jordan's TED Talk on inclusive sports pride swelled. Our influences woven subtle. Health's dance continued. Alex's pacemaker. A tick like metronome. My audiobooks. Voices cadence his. Adaptations bonded. Laughter at mishap strips over rugs. Forgotten names retrieved in jest. Aging's art. He declared. Canvas of us. World churned. Elections ebbing rights. Protests flaring. We donated. Wrote op-eds. Grandkids joining March's legacy alive. A documentary sequel. Filming frailties and fire. Premiered streamed. Chats with fans bridging generations. Loss layered. Moms fade into dementia. Care home. Visits poignant, her eyes lighting at our hands held. Stories retold. Lila's battle won. But scars etched. Sam's steady hand her rock. Family net tightened. Holidays havens of healing. Adventure beckoned soft. Train across Canada. Rocky's framing talks, deep regrets aired. None major. Wasted no time. Alex affirmed. Windows past blurring to now. Evenings in lodges. Lovemaking gentle. Profound whispers of still want you eternal. Home. Creativity simmered. Joint memoir finale. Reflections on haunts resolved. Publishers vied. Launch intimate family toasting, echoes enduring. Reviews lauded. A love that defies dreams. Philanthropy flowered. Foundations gala. Scholarships awarded to wide-eyed youth, Jamie's daughter among. Cycle complete. Speeches choked. From one door. Worlds opened. Personal pivot. Therapy for golden years. Unpacking elder fears irrelevance. Parting. We've haunted well. Counselor noted. Dates renewed, picnics. Dances. Bands spinning old tunes. Grandkids grew. Nora's coming out. By and bold. Our arms open. Theo's first heartbreak. Ice cream and talks mending. Love haunts. But heals. I echoed. Anniversary 60th. Beach house rental. Waves lapping vows. Sandcastles with young ones. Sunset walks hand in hand. Doors echo. Alex asked. Our symphony. I replied. Legacy letters penned to twins. Grandkids' tales of bathroom bravery. Love's persistence. Sealed. Shared. Tears and treasures. One dawn. Porch swing. Coffee steaming. Dreamt us young again. Smile shared. Best haunt ever. World turned. Our orbit steady beautifully. Eternally entwined. Alex's breath shortened. Doctor's visits grave hearts weary from years' race. Raced well, he quipped. My hand is constant. Hospice talks hushed. But home chosen our bed. Surrounded by art and family. Vigil swelled, twins bedside. Grandkids rotating stories. Lila's songs soft. Dad's fishing tales retold. Mom's distant smile evoked. Laughter pierced grief. His wit sharp to end. Last night. Stars pricking dark. He turned, haunt me still. Whisper, always. Love. Breath eased. Hand slack peaceful passage. Door ajar to beyond. Funeral bloomed rainbow, eulogies fierce. His jersey draped. Foundation pledge swelling. Graveside. I spoke, he walked in. Changed everything dreams haunted. Lives lit. Grief's tide pulled deep. Days blurred monochrome. Sketches faltered. But grandkids coaxed colors Nora's brush guiding. Theo's tales distracting. Therapy solo now. Unpacking voids, he was my echo.